World Financial Group offers entrepreneurs from all backgrounds the opportunity to start their own business on a level playing field. Dr. Yana Woodhouse, receiving the WCM Wall Street Pioneer Award by the United Black Wall Street of America, Inc., is one of those entrepreneurs.
I see WFG and TFA as a place where African Americans with an entrepreneurial mindset can flourish. And the bonus, we help families and serve the communities across the country.
To learn more about us, go to worldfinancialgroup.com.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward-thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.
Hello, and welcome to another fantastic Tuesday where your host, the dressed down CEO of Leverage Credit Recovery, comes to you live from Yonkers, New York, giving you I'm going to use my friend, my dear colleague and mentor, giving you a check up from the neck up. We are talking today about how you can, if you're in the process of, or if you receive something from, say, a law firm or from the courts, addressing a lawsuit, we're going to be talking about today. But we want to welcome you to the show. We want to welcome all of you who always make time to be here and give us a little bit of your attention and just your recognition for what we do. We are grateful to every single one. We're grateful to Soul City Network, who allows us to do this on the variety of different platforms that they have. It is a wonderful opportunity to do what I do. And again, my name is Tyrone Glover, the host of Leverage Your Score. And what we're going to do today, as I said, we're going to help you navigate the possibilities of if you are being sued by a creditor. So let's get this program started. And again, thank you for everyone who makes time to be part of these very informative, informational shows that help you navigate some of these challenges that you might be going through. And the best thing to do is, you got questions, folks, ask those questions. So I'm going to leave open the variety of different question methods that are available to you. If you have a question, drop it in one of those question boxes that you see. And let us address those as we move through the program. So today, as I said, we're going to be talking about if you are being sued by a creditor. What do you do? All right, so are you being sued by a creditor? A wake-up call to know your rights and fight back. Yes, that's the most important part. It's good to know your rights, but shouldn't you equally want to fight back? So are you being sued by a creditor? Lawsuits, your legal right, and how to take action. Presented by, again, yours truly, Tyrone Glover, advocate for consumer empowerment. This presentation is not legal advice, so I want you to all understand that. We always give our disclosures. We're not legal professionals in that sense, meaning having passed the bar and things of that nature. No, these are just advice from professionals, individuals who've been in this space, gone through the practices of helping consumers, helping clients navigate some of those challenges, because we know reaching out to those law firms can be very, very costly, can be extremely costly. And what we've also found out, and we're not taking anything away from the legal profession, but we've also found out that some of them can be a bit questionable because not every single lawyer understands this space in which we are talking about. So it's really important to make sure that you do seek legal advice, but also make sure that you seek legal advice from someone who is FCRA, which is the Fair Credit Reporting Act, or the FDCPA, which is the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act, specializes specializes in those areas. You want to seek attorneys in those particular spaces. But nevertheless, information is information, folks. I've been doing this for quite some time now, and I've helped hundreds of consumers navigate as a pro se litigant in court. All right, you first are a pro se litigant, and if you have all the information that you need, guess what you don't need is a lawyer. But it's always nice to know that if you are unsure and your pockets are okay, go ahead and break them off that bread and see what type of response or what type of solution or resolution that you get. All right, so what is a lawsuit? That's first and foremost. What is a lawsuit? A lawsuit is a legal action taken by one party, the plaintiff, against another, the defendant, in a court of law, usually to resolve a dispute. This involves money owed, like credit cards or medical debt, breach of contract, injury or damage, and violation of rights. That could be civil rights, consumer rights, or employee rights, etc. So your legal rights in a lawsuit. You have rights. No matter which side you're on, you have fundamental legal rights. The right to be notified. If you're not notified properly, you must be served with a summons or complaint. Now, I know some tricky stuff is going on out there, and that stuff is really kind of weird. Putting it on your door, taping it to your door, putting it somewhere in a inconspicuous place, trying to put it in the mailbox. I know we got to look more deeply into this servicing piece, and I'm going to I'm going to find a legal professional who can walk us through all of those particulars. But first and foremost, you have to be served. All right. Technically, what normal service was a person approached you, they asked you your name, and then they told you you were being served. But now we're seeing some real okey doke stuff that doesn't agree or doesn't even add up. So be careful when you are being served. All right. Things on your door, taped on your door to embarrass you. I don't think that's what the courts nor what the rights are. So we're really going to dive deeper into that piece of how is this servicing and what constitutes as proper servicing. The right to respond. You typically have 20 to 30 days to file an answer or risk a default judgment. You have to. Citizens do not ignore these. There's something that I learned from Jamie Raskin. He's one of my favorite of all time elected officials. Jamie Raskin, Congressman Jamie Raskin. He is a constitutional lawyer, and every time he pops up somewhere, I have to stop what I'm doing because this man is brilliant. But nevertheless, he taught me something about adverse inference, which that means is that if you don't respond, you're basically giving them the right to say whatever they want to say because you chose not to, and that can lead into a default judgment. The right to defend yourself. You don't necessarily have to go out and get a lawyer. You're a pro se litigant. You can defend yourself. So you can present evidence, question witness, and challenge the claims. The right to representation. You may hire an attorney or in small claims courts, represent yourself. You have the right to request validation, especially in debt collection cases. You can demand proof that you owe this debt. And a lot of it, what you may not understand, is alleged. Yes, just because you may have gotten into a contractual relationship with a lender or with a creditor or things of that nature, it's all alleged when it ends up into this piece right here. And you got to remember something too. They're doing this for specific reasons. Once you get smart enough to know how to navigate these spaces and places, trust me, you're going to find out that you have more rights than you can possibly ever imagine. But you got to know what you don't know. So how to take action if you're being sued. Don't ignore it. Number one, do not ignore it. Please. Not responding can result in automatic judgment against you. Adverse inference. Think about that and write that down somewhere. Put it on the window. Put it on the affirmation board. Adverse inference. You do not want to ignore anything that comes from the courts. Now, if it comes from a law firm, we're going to give you a little bit of leeway there because these law firms, again, Sometimes they don't even take or go through the proper channels to get this approved through the courts first before it even makes it out into your space. Sometimes they just try to bypass that just to intimidate you. They know how scary we are. They know that we are not up on all of the legalities. So they'll do some things that again, questionable. But as I said, not challenging the legal profession. I'm definitely going to make sure that they're doing things at their right understandings, but we're never going to challenge them. But when it's necessary, we will. Right? So read the complaint carefully. Understand what the plaintiff claims. Don't just agree and agree and agree just to agree. Read it thoroughly. And if you're unsure about what's in it, then seek some legal advice. Or, again, professionals like myself who have been in this space for quite some time, we can help you out. And trust me when I tell you, not only am I good, I'm exceptional. Okay? Not only am I good, I'm exceptional. Why? Because I've spent my time doing the things that most people will not do. And even general practitioners. General practitioners mean they can dabble here, dabble there, dabble here, dabble there. But you want someone who is confident and someone who is versed in consumer debts. All right? Consumer understandings when it comes to debt. That would be me. Now, these legal professionals out there, some of them may say they are, but I've had a client, now mind you, I've had a client that was a district attorney. Yes, district attorney. It was the most impressive thing that I've ever had as far as a conversation with someone who, again, is the top cop in the state, but yet they didn't know anything about consumer debt. It was amazing to help him out. So file a timely response. This might be an answer or a motion to dismiss. And trust me, folks, this is something that you do not take that day off of work. Take that time. If you know that you have rights, then exercise them. And a lot of the times you're going to find out that the other party won't even show up, and then you demand something. So show up in court. Missing court means losing by default. You don't want to lose by default. Negotiate if possible. Settlements may be better than courts. And you got to remember something. What I know, you don't know, but I'm going to give you another golden gem. All right? A lot of these lawsuits are debts that have already been settled. They've already been settled between the original creditor and now this law firm. They've been purchased with pennies on the dollar. And you definitely have to know this. And if you don't know this, when you go into court unprepared, and this is our job to prepare you. I've prepared plenty of people. My last customer that I prepared was an elderly individual, and she went in there and she slayed. And it was so great. She called me back and told me, I won, Mr. Glover, I won. And she was excited. She was elated at the fact that she went into court and literally defended herself for something that she knew was an overreach. But again, the egregious nature of some of these debt collectors, some of these law firms that are posing as the original creditor or even debt collectors. Got to get smart, got to know your rights, and you also got to make sure you follow up on these particular things. So seek legal help. You can contact legal aid or a consumer rights attorney, or even use low-cost options. All right, so there are things out there that you can do, but just please, I'm imploring you, do not ignore it. And a lot of times you might not know that you have it until it ends up at your employers, and then they're talking about garnishing wages. All right? Do not ignore these things. And if it does happen to get that far where it's in your employer's hand, well, we can still help you out. If your rights were violated, all right, if you know for a fact that you weren't served properly or you've done the necessary steps and you found out that they violated your rights, document everything, the time, the date, what happened, who was involved. This is going to be very, very important because when you go to court, they don't want to hear feelings. They want to hear facts. Okay? Feelings just don't cut it. As nice as you may want the courts to give you mercy because you're just a citizen who made a mistake, that them feelings ain't going to work, but them facts will. And we can help you with uncovering the facts that you do not know about what's possibly going on in this particular lawsuit because they may have violated your right. File a complaint. with agencies like the CFPB. Now, we know the CFPB has been, as most of these institutions that are now being controlled by the individual now occupying the White House. So we want to be careful with even those entities. We know this entity was established under President Obama, and the person who spearheaded it was Elizabeth Warren. So again, as I said, most people don't know these things, and I'm giving you some gems that you probably think, where did he get all this information from? Well, this is what happens when you now have when they have now unleashed the beast of the World Wide Web. Use also the FTC, Fair Trade Commission, my apologies. Send a demand letter asking for resolution in writing. If you know that this is a third party, not the first party, and even the first party will also equally try to dupe you, which is they'll try to, and I like to call it ill-gotten gains. So they'll double, and there's a word that actually is for that, which is called overbiffing. They will overbiff and try to make you pay twice. So you got to be careful. Now, when I say pay twice, I don't mean you're giving them one and then they turn around and expect more. No, I'm talking about that they charge it off and then they turn around and come back after you with a lawsuit. So please, you got to know these things. So you can sue in small claims court if it's under the court's dollar limit and you're confident. And this is our job right here at Leverage Credit Recovery. Our job is to give you as much as your brain can consume so that you go into these court situations with confidence, not with feelings, but with confidence, so that you can go in and you can handle your business like a true champ. And then you walk out of there with a zero debt, because a lot of times the courts don't even know. They're just following their friends, sad to have to say it, but these legal professionals on one side, which is the plaintiff, sometimes they know the courts. They've been in and out of the courts. They know the judges. So they create this so-called relationship, and we're not saying that they're compromised in any stretch of the imagination, but they create these relationships. They know court verbiage and processes. You as a consumer, you don't. So our job is to get you up to speed on the verbiage so that you can go in there and the courts are going to be looking at you like, okay, we got somebody who knows what's going on. That's all that matters, confidence. So understand the battlefield. As I was just talking, you received a court summons or lawsuit notification. What now? Creditors. So what do you do now? You now have to, as I said, you have to file a answer. Creditor or debt buyers sue, often relying on default judgments. Now think about that. So they sue you knowing that you're intimidated so that you won't respond, and then you automatically get a default judgment. That default judgment turns into a lien, it turns into a garnishment, and then now you're dealing with something that you did not want to deal with. And there are still ways of navigating that space as well, right? But you just have to know your rights. If you were never notified, i.e. proper service, you may have the grounds to vacate the judgment. And vacating that judgment, all it basically means is that you're going to petition the courts to snatch it right out. Because there were things that were done that violated your rights. You as a citizen of this country have rights in so many ways. And if you don't exercise them or don't know them, then guess what you don't have? You don't have those rights. So it's really important to follow these types of shows and these types of programs that help you, but make sure, again, that they're trusted authorities in what they're saying. There's another show out there that I really, really like, and I'm going to try to get this individual on the show. I'm going to get this individual on the show who's another expert in that space of dealing with consumer debt. And knowledge is your greatest defense. You're going to be best able to speak to what your circumstance and situation is. You are not some attorney who you have to convey something to and then they go out and speak on your behalf. No, you are. And you need to, if you do happen to get an attorney, you got to tap them on the shoulder and say, hey, that's not what I said. That's not even what I meant. Oh, but I'm the lawyer. I'm the attorney. Come on now. Let's step away from the ego and let's focus on the facts. Okay. And that sometimes you have to present that to them in that manner. So know your battlefield, know your rights, federal protections, the FCRA, which is the Fair Credit Reporting Act. That means things have to be reported accurately. That's the number one thing about the Fair Credit Reporting Act, accuracy. And if you're off by one penny, if they're off by one letter, if there's something not accurate in that credit file or on that particular item that they're suing for, then you have rights. It has to be done accurately. The FDCPA, which is the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act. Again, this ties right into the understanding of if they're going to sue you, then they have to follow certain procedures. And these acts are federal acts. These are not just, somebody just made up an FCRA or somebody just made up an FDCPA. No, these are federal. That means that the courts had to adhere to it, and equally the individuals who might be challenging you or it also equally has to adhere to it. So these laws protect you from reporting inaccuracies. They also protect you from unverified debt, harassment, and each oh my goodness, always struggle with some words, but it's so funny, as I told you, dyslexia doesn't hinder me, doesn't hurt me, but what it does is it prevents me from saying the things that I need to say in a manner in which it comes out. So these are called violations. Could entitle you to $1,000 per occurrence. All right, but you got to make sure that you're documenting these types of things. If you're documenting these types of things and you have everything in play that you need to, there's no reason why you should fear going to court and challenging these individuals. So small claims court, a tool for justice, a low cost, high leverage legal option. That's what the small claims court is. It's a low cost, high leveraged option. It allows for you to take the matters into your own hands, right? Don't be afraid. Don't be intimidated. Don't be threatened. Don't think for a second that you cannot challenge a law firm or someone who is presenting something that you yourself know, wait a minute, I paid that debt, or the debt itself may have been what we call charged off or written off. And that is a legal challenge because that means that the company itself chose. You didn't force the company. The company itself also equally chose not to negotiate with you because they know they have something like 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, 150 days. They know they have these time frames that they can wait you out. And if they wait you out and choose to write off that debt, that wasn't you. They chose not to negotiate with you. And then they're going to turn around after they charge it off, and then they're going to sell that debt to a third party, and then that third party is going to come after you. I think we got a little bit of a problem there. And our job is to rectify that so that you don't get caught up in that. Sue credit bureaus, collectors, or creditors if they violate your right. Yes, you can sue Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. You can sue creditors and debt collectors. Yes, all of these individuals equally can be sued. Why? Because they violate your right. Bottom line, you have rights. So typical filing fees are minimal, and you stay in control. You have the control, but you have to know the processes. And I know the courts can be somewhat like DMV. They could be someone like, the worst places in the world to go. But once you know how to navigate it, again, we're not hoping that you continue to keep going into these types of circumstances. But once you do it, it's going to become not necessarily a practice, but it's going to become something that you remember. It's going to become something, it's muscle mass. And we're hoping that you don't have to do it over and over and over. But we now know that some of these credit card situations have turned into nightmares. Some of these loans and lending opportunities have turned into nightmare. We know that you're not in the position financially because we've seen our 401ks, our 304Bs, our Roth IRAs, our investment opportunities in vehicles. We've seen them get diminished. So some of that extra resources that may be there that would allow us to meet our. So nevertheless, always remember you have rights and you now have community who's going to help you navigate those spaces even more effectively. You don't need a lawyer to file a small claims court. You don't need a lawyer. I'm not taking anything away from the legal profession. I personally thought I was going to go into that profession. I thought that I was going to go back to school and become, but then I started watching stuff like, let's see, that impeachment of Mr. Trump and how those lawyers got up there and were saying some of the most outrageous things, listening to some of the executive orders that are now being challenged by some of these lawyers on the administration side, just listening to some of the crazy, and I cannot wait until these judges finally start telling these lawyers, excuse me, but did you take the bar? Did you swear an oath? And now you're bringing these frivolous lawsuits into my courthouse? When are these judges going to stand up to those types of lawyers who breach their understanding, breach it of the courts, and also equally breach it of their oath that they took to uphold the Constitution when they got that, when they passed the bar? I'm waiting for that day. But until that day comes, if you are a citizen and you are dealing with something like this, then do not hesitate. You do not need a lawyer, but it's nice to know that you have the option. And make sure, again, that these lawyers are versed in consumer rights understandings, because you may reach out to someone, oh, yeah, sure, my name is ESQ. And yeah, I can take care of this and that. And then they get in there and then they botch it up, all because they thought they knew because they are a lawyer, because they went and took the bar. I didn't need to take the bar, and I probably know more than those general practitioners when it comes to consumer rights. All right, so you don't. Remember, small claims court is just a tool for justice. All right, so why file in small claims court? All right, most companies settle before trial. Yes, they know what they did. So they're going to try to get the easy bread first. They don't want to go through and then you happen to have all of the information that you need, all of the knowledge, all of the facts, and you walk in there looking all dapper Dan or dapper Denise, and you go in there and you do everything that you need to do, and you're going to make them look like a fool. So that's why they try to meet you outside. Oh, can we come to some agreement? But if you don't know the terms of the agreement that you should be coming to, well, you could find yourself paying for debt that you don't necessarily want to pay for or even have to pay for. So know that part as well. Most companies settle before trial. Creditors must appear in court, often flying in. You think they want to pay that extra bread? They don't want to do that. So it's important that even if they do not show up, you demand, okay? You may win damages and get the item removed, but you must demand that the courts say dismiss with prejudice, so that they cannot bring it back. Dismiss with prejudice, because a lot of times they sell the debt, the original debt, and depending on what they get from that, they'll try to again put the remaining amount back into a lawsuit, sell it to another company, and then you're right back on the hook. So if they don't show up, you want to demand of the courts that they dismiss this case with prejudice. All right. So again, you may win damages and get the item removed. It's nice to know. Yeah, there's a payday for you by knowing the information that we're giving you today. Attorney fees are not recoverable by them. So low risk, high impact. All right. So they're going to come at you, and they're going to come at you because they know they can intimidate you. They're coming at you knowing that you don't have what you are now getting. Those individuals who chose to be part of this conversation today, you're getting something that 350, depending on which surveys or census you listen to, 350, 360, 340. Again, there's numbers vary here and there, but 300 plus million Americans will not know. You're now getting first-hand information about what to do just in case you get sued. So please do not hold on to this information. I'm telling you, there's people in your immediate circles that are probably going through some of this impact that we're talking about. So make sure that they know, hey, you got remedies, and start having the conversation. Start talking about the things that we should be talking about at that dinner table. or during those family outings. Let's make sure that we get versed in the things that we need to be versed. So if we are approached with some of these things, we know exactly what to do. So preparing for the battle, your court arsenal. All right, preparing for the battle, your court arsenal. Bring these to court. All right, so you want to bring your credit report. You want to bring your dispute letters and mailed receipts and collection notices. So start filing these things. If you've already started with the recovery process. I don't like repair. I don't like fix. Anytime I hear those words, I'm always like, ugh. You can't fix credit. All right. You can fix a broken window. You can fix a broken arm. You can fix a lot of broken things, but you cannot fix credit. Okay. You can't even repair it. So let's get those words out of the credit lexicon and focus on recovery, because credit is a behavior. And if you exhaust or you exploit your credit understandings or those obligations that you have, that means your behavior with money is now being questioned. So you have to then stick up to what you need to know about how to protect yourself when it comes to your credit. All right, so again, we want to make sure that you understand credit reports. Bring these things to the court. Credit report, dispute mailings. So if you've been in the process of disputing or challenging inaccuracies on your credit report, that means you're going to get responses back. Those responses, you should be mailing those out. And when you mail those out with certified and receipts so that you get those receipts back. And then also keep your collection notices, things that they may be sending you. Highlight it. Also, make sure that you have the FCRA and the FDCPA code sections validated, and then make sure you have them highlighted, because you may have to bring those out and show the courts, hey, they can't do this, Your Honor. They can't do this, Your Honor. These are the things that you must have in play. Organized binder plus summary sheets of your top points. What transpired? Hey, I got this notice. It was taped on the door, or I paid this debt, or again, this debt was already settled in the means that businesses already have available to them. So why am I sitting in court when I already know that this item has been satisfied by their bad debt deduction? Another item that we will be talking about in a later show, but bad debt deduction, oh my goodness. When I stumbled across that, wow, that was like finding the fountain of youth. That's what that was like. That was like finding King Tut's tomb. When I came across that bad debt deduction and then started talking about worthlessness of a debt, wow, it was amazing. So again, thank you so much. Wow, this is great information. This is another young lady who I am super impressed with. She does a show, or will be doing a show coming up on this very network. She works with youth. And I just can't wait to see you. But thank you so much for that wonderful comment. I can't wait to see you in one of our programs, or even in your own program. I am super excited about watching this young lady do her business and do her work for us. Again, you can see I'm always just woo, because why? The information that I'm giving you it should electrify you. You should be like, oh my goodness, I can't wait to now challenge somebody. That's how I feel about giving you this information every single day. And that's equally how I feel about making sure that you know what you're doing equally out there. So Soul City Network, we're doing it, and we're doing it with the full strength and understanding of our wonderful and beautiful and magical CEO behind every single one of these shows. So again, I can get in a tangent, run off with Soul City Network. Programs are available nationally on a variety of different platforms. So definitely seek us out. If you're not watching us right now, go back and make sure that you find that highlighted area, or you save these websites, or you come back regularly. This is gems, folks. This is gems. All right. So speak clearly, speak factual, and remain professional. Speak clearly. And if you are unsure, again, come back. Let us help you with how to navigate that. Focus on the facts. As I said, don't worry about the feelings. and remain professional. You don't necessarily have to dress up in a suit. You don't necessarily have to put on your Sunday best or your Saturday best or your wedding best. No, just make sure that you look professional. All right. And if your professional is dressed down professional, make sure it's neat. All right. You don't have to be all dressed up. I'm going to continuously say it was the lawyers and the suits that got us into these mess. And guess what it's going to take? It's going to take the tattooed guys and the hat guys to get us out of this mess. And that's what I love about doing what I do, because I am the most unconventional, smart guy that you're probably going to meet. And there are other unconventional, smart people out there. And I love it. I love to be able to meet with a variety of different individuals that can navigate these spaces and make it more comfortable for more individuals to get out of the constraints that you find yourself in. All right, so we're now inside the courtroom. What do we expect? If you show up, there's no if in that. You better show up, okay? Don't be afraid. Today is not the day to be afraid. You show up, okay? Challenge the foundation of their claim. If you know for a fact this debt was paid, this debt was not mine, this debt was done for whatever the various reasons, you need to show up to fight that. Object to hearsay or unauthorized evidence. Yes, hey, I got a copy of this from this company. Well, again, hearsay, objection, Your Honor. Hearsay is inadmissible. Okay, you want firsthand information, firsthand proof. Demanding, not copies or assumptions. And this is where they're relying on your, ignorance, and that's how they win. But if you know someone like me, oh my goodness, I'm going to help you navigate you, coach you, make sure that you are very well versed before that date comes up. And you're going to go in there and you're going to do just like, as I said, that last client and multiple clients before her and equally after her. All right, but that last one that I really wanted to talk about, because she was an elderly lady, and it was so amazing when she reached back out to me and told me, I won, Mr. Glover, I won. I loved it. If you don't show up, ask for default, meaning if they, my apologies, because if you don't show up, guess what they're asking for? All right, if you don't show up, you can guarantee they're going to say, oh, Your Honor, since the individual didn't show up, he's not even going to say, they're not even going to have to say, oh, he didn't show up. Default judgment. Default judgment. So do not be afraid to show up. You got to take that day off. Take that day off. All right. This is something that is worth taking that day off, because if you prepare yourself properly, then the reward might be worth taking the day off. And the reward that I'm talking about is that you get the item dismissed. And if you are claiming any type of harm or hardship or anything, you will get a judgment from it as well. So we prepare you very, very astutely to make sure that you can navigate this space without any problems. All right, so now you're inside the court. What to expect? Again, what courts as evidence? What counts as evidence or harm? Real damage includes denied credit. Yes. Due to this lawsuit, Your Honor, I have been denied a credit opportunity time and time again. Due to this lawsuit, Your Honor, high interest rates have hit me tremendously on all of my credit cards, Your Honor. Due to this lawsuit, I have been mentally anguished and upset and emotional because my financial situation has been hampered. Do you see where I'm going with this? All right, all because of something frivolous by a company or companies that may have already received the funding for this particular alleged amount that they're claiming you still owe. For the bad debt deduction, as I said, powerful. Humiliation or stress due to false reporting, and document everything. Your word matters, but proof matters more. It's nice that you can speak so well. It's nice that you can articulate without pause, but the proof is where the results are going to come from. So make sure that you understand. But as I said, leverage credit recovery, we help you with making sure that you're leveraging your credit to recover any damages or any harm that might be coming from, whether it be a lawsuit or whether it be because of the fact that you haven't really negotiated your credit card interest down to a normal understanding. So as I said, we are versed in a variety of different spaces within this credit realm. And it's nice to know that you now have a partner in the community, in your state. Now you have a partner within the United States to help you navigate these places and spaces in the manner in which we should all be doing. Every single last one of us. All right, so objection 101, you have the right to challenge. When they say, here is a bill providing the debt, you say, objection, no foundation. Why is it no foundation? Because they're presenting something that, again, is a photocopy. You mean to tell me they don't have the original? If they're claiming they're the original creditor, you mean to tell me they're working for the original creditor and they don't even have a copy, a full copy with your wet ink signature on it? Oh, come on now. That should tell you everything you need to know right there. Number two, when they say, is this your signature? You say, I cannot confirm this without authentic proof. That wet signature, a copy of your signature, is not authentic proof. This looks like a copy. Again, objection, Your Honor. So when you learn these things, when you understand these things, and we can, as I said, we can coach you, navigate you through the understanding. So if you were getting sued, you'll know exactly what to do. So learn the language of the courtroom. You don't need to be an attorney to sound like an attorney. And this intimidates attorneys. This sometimes even intimidates the judges because then they want to try to push back. And I kind of look at them going, okay, well, Your Honor, you're supposed to be neutral in this understanding. Just because I got educated, just because I did the things that I needed to do to present the evidence to you, now you're going to claim that I'm trying to impersonate someone? Got to know your things, folks. You got to know how to, even when the judge pushbacks a little bit. All right? And you still have remedy, even if you were to lose, you still have an appeal. All right, so the final thoughts. This is about money. All right, this is about more than money. It's about more than just money. Stand up, speak up, and show up. All right, if you're being presented with something, make sure you understand that you were served properly. Prior to, make sure that you understand you do your due diligence and you gather all of the evidence. And then you're going to file your answer. After you file your answer, you're going to get a court date. Once that court date comes up, make sure that you find someone who can prepare you properly, or if you need legal advice or legal representation, make sure that they understand that you know what they're doing, so they don't go in there and do some okey doke stuff, and then you end up coming out paying more for something that you should not be paying. Plus, on top of that, you done gave them a retainer. So this is about protecting your reputation and financial freedom. All right. The law is on your side, but only if you know how to use it. Very, very, very important. So your fight isn't pretty. It's righteous. That's just that simple. Your fight isn't going to be pretty. They're trying to get something from you. So it's not going to be, oh, let's talk sweet nothings. No. But it is righteous that you go in there knowing what you know about how this alleged debt came to be, and how this alleged debt had already been satisfied, and how the now individuals presenting this alleged debt are attempting to defraud the courts. Oh, that never looks good with a judge. When you can start making the legal profession, who is bringing up these frivolous lawsuits just to capitalize ill-gotten gains, oh, judges do not look friendly upon that. They actually hate it because there's already too many circumstances and situations going on within the court systems that we ourselves are probably sitting back going, wow, that didn't need to be argued. But I guess, hey, but nevertheless, know your rights, ladies and gentlemen. Once you know your rights, you have your rights. But when you don't know your rights, guess what? You don't have them. All right, some resources and supports that you can reach out to. Fair Trade Commission. get free and reduced fee legal help from the Fair Trade Commission, a great resource. Again, this is a government agency that is there to help. But as I said earlier, there's an administration that has been doing some wild, I mean, some of the wildest things that I have never seen in my 58 years of being a citizen. Some of the wildest, most egregious things that this administration is doing to undermine our ability to challenge and to argue based off of facts. All right, closing down or removing individuals or firing individuals. This is not a reality show. Remember, the Consumer Financial Protections Bureau, created under the Obama administration, spearheaded by Elizabeth Warren. It's one of my premier institutions to go to when I have concerns. And it is a great body. I'm here to say a great body. Now, do I have questions about how they have been negotiating or facilitating? I absolutely do. I challenge everybody. And I don't challenge them just to be defiant to challenge. I challenge for knowledge. Okay? Everybody, challenge for knowledge with intent. Because if you do, you'll probably walk away and both parties will be like, wow, that was a great conversation. I'm glad we had the opportunity to sit down and talk to each other. And I wish it was more like that versus they're looking at you as the bad guy. You're looking at them as the bad guy. So we don't get anywhere because it's more of a confrontation than a conversation. And that's all we're seeking. We need our elected officials and we need those individuals in public service to equally understand this is not about us going back and forth or us getting frustrated because you might not know what we know. And it's okay. It's fine. It's all right. But it's good to have the conversation so that we can come to a mutual understanding of how these entities can help best serve us. And once they best serve us, then we can go out into that world and we can do what we need to do. National Association of Consumer Affairs. Okay, these are bodies of which you, if you have concerns, reach out to. So you can search the small claims court plus your state, and then also equally check out the FCRA, which is the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and also the FDCPA, which is the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act, the legal guides that they have available as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, call to recovery. This is what it is. It's a call to recovery. Don't just dispute, defend. All right, defend your rights. Don't just react, research. Research and make sure that this is yours or this debt has been paid off or whatever the circumstances or situations may be behind this. Don't just take it, fight. Because I'm telling you, the likelihood of you fighting, you'll probably come out on top and you'll realize, wow, they were just trying to get over on me. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, that's all they've been doing is getting over on us. And every time they get over on us, that sets another bad precedent. It shows that we do not have or shouldn't have the ability to even fight these things, but we do and we must. Let's make sure that we are doing what we need to be doing. Ignorance is expensive. Knowledge is power. All right, say it with me. Ignorance is expensive. Knowledge is power. It's just that simple. Do your due diligence to make sure that you're not paying for something that allegedly they're claiming is yours when it already has been settled. Now go reclaim your credit and your confidence. So how do you get in touch with us? How do you make sure that you can contact me, the guy who's talking to you right now, the CEO? I wish we had more CEOs that would do things like this, because I would love to talk to the CEO of Chase. I would love to talk to the CEO of Equifax and TransUnion and Experian. I would love to talk to the CEOs of these credit card companies that they should be breaking up, like Visa, MasterCard, who have monopolies. I would love to talk to all of the CEOs so that we can come to an understanding that maybe the individuals that they have as their front line, I don't know if it's by design or what the reasons are behind it, but is it purposely that they might be putting individuals that have limited knowledge? And then when we, with knowledge, are challenging them, then they want to, oh, you can't use that kind of language. Well, what kind of language? I didn't say nothing but smart words. and you got offended by smart words, now you want to hang up, or now you want to put me on pause. I get that one a lot. Or I got to go find a supervisor. So they're going to put you on pause, meaning they're going to put it on hold, and then they may never come back because they know that you have outwitted them. So now they're upset. But how do you get in contact with us? 805-428-9424. We now operate something called a link tree. We're still waiting on our websites to be developed. We haven't really found the perfect individual. So if there's any website people out there who know how to put together a spectacular, stellar, easy to navigate website, please reach out to us. We would love to do business with you. And we got two websites, and we're probably going to be working on the third. So there might be another business that might be coming to us. So we're looking forward to all of the great things that 2025 has already presented and will always continue. So our email, leveragecreditrecovery@gmail.com. That is leveragecreditrecovery@gmail.com. And now our young entrepreneurs, which is, again, another one of our fantastic initiatives, which is our nonprofit organization, Yonkers Young Entrepreneurs Equally @gmail.com. Or pay us a visit. We love to see the public coming to our location, which is now at 86 Main Street, Yonkers, New York, 10701. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this up with talking about our upcoming event, Call to Prosperity. Join the conversation. May 17th, 12 o'clock noon, high noon. Pull up a chair in Getty Square. All right. Pull up a chair in Getty Square. What this is about us having the very first of its kind, an outdoor financial literacy workshop. We're bringing our message to the community to talk about things that the community and unfortunately our elected officials are not talking about. How do we prosper? How do we make ends meet? How do we become financially literate? How do we create generational wealth? How do we become entrepreneurs? And how do we make sure that we are focusing on credit recovery? Not fixes, ladies and gentlemen, not repairs, but recovery. Credit is a behavior. And the more that you don't understand how to correct the behavior, the more that behavior becomes exhausting. The more that behavior becomes it starts off as a concern, it becomes an issue, and then it turns into a problem. Can we get it right at the concern piece? Because if we get it at the concern piece, we eliminate. We take care of it right before it, or right as it started. We don't need it to escalate to an issue. But even if it does escalate to an issue, we still have remedies for that. And if it gets into that problem phase, trust me, we have remedies for that. So I'm highlighting one of my student pieces here, and we had our students doing they did our flyers for this particular event. And I want to thank every single one of my students who participated, and their work was amazing. So please be looking out on our variety of different social media platforms for our student flyers. I'm so impressed with the youth of today. That's why I'm so focused on making sure that our youth have the tools. We know our adults, because they grown, adults don't like to be told what to do. This is amazing. This is an amazing opportunity for our youth. What time does this workshop end? The workshop will not be ending until the very last question. I'm not like Congress. I'm actually someone who will stay and listen to every single individual. So the workshop will not end. It will go in. We're going to actually put it online. It's going to be on a variety of different social media platforms. And we're looking for every public individual out there who wants to pull up, pull up. If you can't pull up, join us on, we're going to be on YouTube. We're going to be on Facebook. We're going to be on Twitter. We're going to be on TikTok. My young advocates are already, we done got the, received some of the stands that we're going to be using for our phones, but we're going to be asking those who participate and come out to equally put your phone out there and broadcast it as well. So thank you again for that wonderful question. It doesn't end until the last question has been answered. So we're going to be there for quite a while, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. But this is our very first of many to come pull up a chair events. And we're going to be pulling up a chair in multiple areas within Yonkers. And we're asking you now to pull up a chair in your town square. Do something on this method outside in the open so that individuals know that the professionals, we know you're not coming to us. We know you don't know us that well. So we get that part, the fear factor of the unknown. We know that you may have questions and we might be a little bit more, shall we say, voiced in a different language of business speak, and that might be equally intimidating. We know that we can maybe not look the part because you're looking for someone in a suit and tie. We got to strip away all of these stigmatisms and focus on the actual individual who's giving me facts. And the facts that I'm referring to is verifiable facts, things that you can go back to and you can say, wait, hold on here. Or you can say, wow, yes, that was 100% spot on. And never, anything is not 100%, right? Nothing is 100%. But it's nice to know that if you do have a question, it gets answered, and then you go back and research it, and you find out that it was 99 or 98% factual. Well, you're well on your way. All right, so leveragecreditrecovery.com. You can reach us at leveragecreditrecovery.com, but that is with a link tree first. But this call to prosperity, join the conversation. We hope to see you out there, ladies and gentlemen. We want to thank you for making time today, because that's what these shows are all about. It's about you making time to join the program, to join the conversation, and we can't thank you enough. So as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I want to thank you for the opportunity that you give me every single Tuesday. I want you to also equally chime in on Thursdays to a fantastic, smart, brilliant, bright, wonderful, talented individual. Her name is Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse, Access Wealth Nation. I'm going to promote her show every single time because it's a compliment to this show. She's someone who's very well versed, someone who's very well knowledgeable, someone who knows the ins and outs of her particular space in realm. I'm a credit guy. I'm someone who speaks very highly of credit and what we can do to make sure that we're recovering from some of those credit mishaps. But Dr. Yana B takes it to a whole new level in the space where she's more proficient and excellent in. So I encourage you, please. And the young lady who was posing the questions earlier, she's going to be joining the program, who is going to be advocating and helping also equally our youth. So I want to thank both of those young ladies. I want to reach out again, not reach out, but I want to let mothers know happy belated Mother's Day. We know that moms are one of the most, if not the most important persons in our lives because they carry us around for 9 months. And I want to also give a special shout out to the double duty parents, to you single parents out there who are pulling double duties. I am one who's always going to recognize you and tell you how much we appreciate you, how much we love you, and we know that you are doing a spectacular job when you're doing it all on your own. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you. Have an enjoyable rest of your evening. And as always, be safe, America.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.